We're like, I've talked to so many women, they're like, I have to deal with my kids now, I have to deal with my spouse, and
Mhm.
then I gotta work, and then I'm up till 2 a.m. and I have no time for myself. And I'm like,
Hello, Bridges. Welcome to another Saturday Sessions. My name is Deborah Pogorelski.
Hi, my name is Mariana Esquiavino.
Hello, everybody. I'm Victoria Rejam.
Hi, everybody. Cristina Saraos from Bridges here. And today we have a very special guest, Natalia. She's really helped me find really good talent when I've needed it.
thank you, ladies, for having me. It's an absolute honor to be here. So yeah, as Christina mentioned, I am known in the Miami market to help wonderful brands like Christina's help find wonderful talent their new home. And now our job has shifted a little bit because we're really committed to helping these folks find not just a new job, but also support and really understanding how they can position themselves in the market to be a little bit more, relatable, to understand how they can, position themselves and also be a fit for new sectors that are actually hiring. So excited to be here and excited to share some words of wisdom and encouragement based on my expertise.
How has your work industry been affected by the current situation? How have you guys adapted to the change, especially in this new normal of being virtual?
Yes. So as you can imagine, just like everyone else, our first order of business was go home and work from home and try to not go crazy. So I think for us, the biggest step in that direction was being able to collectively as a company go remotely within a matter of days. So we have been in quarantine here at Robert Half for almost 2 months now. And also in terms of impacts, just like a lot of people out there, we have had to lay off some folks and furlough other folks. So we've had to endure letting go of some of our best people just because we have suffered the impact just like everyone else. So I guess like everyone on this call, we're just really trying to embrace the new normal and sticking together. But the cool thing is that we found a lot of productivity and purpose behind helping people, behind joining calls like this and outreach programs to not just share what we're going through, but to share how we've overcome it and to share how in overcoming that we're not only helping people get back to work, but also educating clients on that it's okay to hire, it's okay to bring people on, it's okay to stretch your budget a little bit to bring that help in house and just really revive the ecosystem however possible.
Now that we are trying to adapt to this new way of living, working remotely, how do you see the industries changing moving forward in general?
Oh yeah, I mean they've already changed overnight almost. So I would say definitely, the obvious. A lot of industries, starting with retail, have found the demand and the necessity to go virtual. So a lot of companies have gone from brick and mortar store to an online retail version of themselves. And interestingly enough, some of them have actually found overnight success because they've had solid people running their digital marketing presence so that they were able to harness all this new virtual traffic that's now in front of their computers. So definitely that's been the biggest shift, is people going virtual, definitely on the retail space. Seeing a huge embrace of technology, almost to the point where it's like against their will, but they had to. But I actually love seeing that companies have really rallied to make sure that everyone is set up and supported properly, from an IT perspective. And I've also seen a lot of people investing in digital initiatives. So like I mentioned earlier, through great campaigns that are well put together, people have seen, like I said, overnight success. So they're starting to realize that, oh my goodness, I need a digital strategy, because right now a pretty website doesn't cut it. You have to make sure that things are in place, that they have that they're mindfully strategized, that you have an end game of making sure that you understand where you want your business to go, to really know where you've been and what's worked there, and now somehow I guess knit it into a strategy that revolves around this new digital traffic that we're seeing. Another thing I've noticed, and I think that this is something that a lot of companies are not aware of, is the need for compliance and website content compliance. Some of you have probably seen that out there with something called the American with Disabilities Act. So a lot of websites are actually not accessible in a lot of fashions. So you have to think, okay, just like a brick and mortar store should be accessible and should have certain accommodations, websites are now seeing an increased demand for that, and they could face potential lawsuits if they're not implemented. And one of the ways that we're helping there is we have a division of our company called Managed Creative Service and Managed Technology Services. And essentially what they do is they can act like as a consultant to have an initial phone call to see if there's any way that they can help the company. And it's of no charge. It's just really to understand where the company is. So I've been offering that service as a, hey, if you don't know where to start, just talk to us and we'll point you in the right direction. And if you can't afford a service of a full-blown team, we can at least pair you with a freelancer that knows how to make a website compliant, because sometimes you just need a great content developer to be able to put the content in its right place and in the right format. And they've probably done it before. So, it's really cool to see how we can scale up or down depending on the company's budget and size. But the cool thing is that, we have a tailored approach to each person that might need. It's been a really cool experience trying to help people there.
Yeah, and when you're looking for a talent, what key characteristics or skills make a candidate have a successful interview or a land job?
Okay, I would say the biggest thing is just for someone to think of it like, I tell people, I'm a former creative and I work with people in the creative space. So I ask people to think of themselves as the best product, the best campaign, the best service that they've ever designed, pitched, sold. So I think the important thing is to have a solid presence of who you are. So that starts with, understanding that your resume needs to really reflect your strengths, your skills in a very concise but also powerful manner. Remember, recruiters right now are reading thousands of resumes almost on a weekly basis. I know my guys are, and you want something that's catchy, that's simple to read, that's contemporary, that shows that you've put some thought into it. So I would say it starts really with the understanding of making sure your presence on paper looks really good. But I will also say that just like any service or product, you have to have an online presence. So if you don't have a LinkedIn, by all means, create that immediately. But people with a solid LinkedIn presence that matches their resume, has a professional headshot on there, just mindfully put together. Ideally, you have some recommendations from your colleagues. Now is a great time to do that. People are really willing to help out. So people that have really great recommendations on LinkedIn, I always look at that. Again, that's what it's there for. So I really take LinkedIn professionalism very seriously, and I know my team does as well. Things that also stand out is just obviously your experience and how you represent that experience on paper. So yeah, cool that you worked at the best agency in Miami, but what did you do for them? And why are you an asset to a team? And really and truly now it's really toot your own horn. And a lot of people are afraid to do that sometimes because they're like, oh, I don't want to sound too cocky or whatever. Like, you have 30 seconds to impress someone that might change your life. So this is not the time to hold back. It's more than anything, it's the time to be creative with how you present yourself. So if you're in marketing, you better have some numbers on your resume. So, an ROI, something that shows, you're in digital marketing and you were in charge of a campaign, like what did that campaign do for the brand? How much money did it add to the bottom line? What part of the process were you in of generating some more traffic, more whatever the case is. So it's really understanding how to present yourself as having a positive impact within a company, within a brand. Those are the things that catch the attention of somebody reading your resume. And I've seen a lot of resumes that are so dense with information, just jam packed. People want to put everything on there, and all I say to that is less is more. If you're creative, as you guys on this call probably worked with creatives, having a portfolio that is updated, that is relevant, that is contemporary, that's clean. There's a bunch of stuff online to show what a good portfolio looks like. I know with Christina, we worked in the past, and she was like, I'm a sucker for a good portfolio that can show me good brainstorming and conceptual. And she can tell you, the best ones are the ones that catch her attention. So if anything, we've both been through that. But a solid portfolio, if you're creative, or even if you're just a social media person that you may not think, oh, a portfolio for me doesn't really make sense. That's wrong, because social media people, the ones that have like samples of their work are the ones that are super impressive.
Last time I checked, 26 million people in the US filed for unemployment. So layoff flows, that's what's happening right now. And what are you advising to people that are currently looking for a job in the current situation, having to have virtual interviews, having to do all this research, like you mentioned, update your LinkedIn? What would be your tip for them?
For sure. I would say, definitely listen to Bridges Unite as much as you can. But really, and I do mean that. I mean, connecting with people like us that are still in the industry, that we're here to help. And it's really, taking time to plug into a community of people like Bridges Unite, people like our team, like the creative group, who is putting on webinars every now and then, or at least, only a phone call away. So starting there and seeing what the industry is doing. So learning about the industry, replenishing yourself to be, as professionally understood as possible, as succinct with your resume, as clear with your portfolio, and as powerful with your online presence. So taking the time to do that. And as a person and as a woman, I advise people to really make themselves their top priority. You can't really do any of this unless you take care of yourself. I know I've spoken to a lot of super moms out there that are so committed to their families, to their teams, to the companies that they're still working for, that sometimes they forget to take care of themselves. So my biggest advice to the super moms out there that I really admire, you're my superhero, but take time for yourself, because you need to really be clear-minded, you need to be level-headed, you need to know, number one, where you've been and where you're going, so that you know where to start. I'm always happy to have a one-on-one conversation if any of you all get a request for more guidance. I'm happy to have, as long of a conversation is needed with anyone that's maybe struggling to find the light at the end of the tunnel right now.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And one thing I would like to add too is maybe even consider changing industries. I think now is a good time. If there's certain industries have been hugely impacted, but if your skills can be very useful, maybe in a different industry that now they need more people and they're actually hiring, maybe there's opportunities there. I don't know if that you've seen that shift between.
Oh yeah, there's a pulse still out there. There are hot industries, like you just mentioned, that are hiring, and I'll mention a few of them that have come to my knowledge. So the financial industries, fintech is huge, the banking industry, mortgage and loans. You also have even public adjusters we've placed for that, engineering companies that fix like air conditionings and stuff like that. I mean, things that are, again, they're outside of the regular hot industries that we were typically seeing 2 months ago. You also have food manufacturing. So you have to also think, like, where's the demand going? So you have to think, it's almost like it's a no-brainer. So what's in more demand? So food delivery services, people that had a retail presence but also had an e-commerce presence. So e-commerce is through the roof. High tech, telecom, people going remote. So if you really think about it, there's so many opportunities. The health and wellness, supplements, virtual, e-learning. I mean, I just mentioned probably just as many industries that were hiring 2 months ago. So it's just a matter of really pivoting. And I think that that's the word that I invite everyone to embrace in their own manner, is pivot. So that's my take.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. Such valuable knowledge. I think it's great. I want to really thank you for being here with us today. Where can people reach out to you and contact if they wanted more information, or if they want to join one of your trainings, or even hire you to be their either recruiter or
talent guru?
Yeah, exactly.
I would say LinkedIn is the best. I know they can reach out to you guys via Instagram or email. And you have my information. So I would say LinkedIn is usually where I highlight what we're working on, what opportunities we have open, what webinars we're putting on, or what webinars other people are showing. So
perfect. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. So thank you everybody for joining another Saturday session. And also look out for our newsletter. Sometimes we promote job openings on our newsletter. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend.